Hey guys, Seth Fuller, your favorite lawyer here. Thanks for tuning in. I know it's been a while. I got some big stuff in the works. Stay tuned. In the meantime, I hope this holds you over, or you probably just didn't miss me at all. So I was requested from several people to talk about the Kyle Rittenhouse shooting. If you've been under a rock, Kyle Rittenhouse is a young man, 17 years old. He was at a group of protests. Now, there's protests going on across the nation for the shooting of Jacob Blake by police. That had really nothing to do with this particular event, except that there were protests from that event. Kyle Rittenhouse was not one of the protesters. He had been driven by his mother 20 minutes away. This is right across the border. He was driven to Kenosha, Wisconsin from another state. I don't think that matters. But he was open carrying an AR-15 rifle. And he was dropped off by his mom, and he was with a Second Amendment rights group, a Back the Blue group, something to that effect. Basically a group of young men who decided to go and help protect the properties that they thought might be damaged by these protesters. And this was, I believe, the third night of protesting. So Kyle Rittenhouse was one of those young men. He was 17 years old. He was openly carrying a rifle. He was at a car dealership. I don't know what relationship, if any, he had to that car dealership. And he ran into some angry protesters. These protesters did not like his presence there. And pretty much every aspect of this was captured on video. So if you're like, why are we waiting to hear? Well, there's really nothing more to hear except maybe about a few specific details that won't necessarily be helpful for the case. This is a pretty simple, cut and dried, the video from start to finish. Now, I'm going to make everybody mad, so get ready for that, as I usually do, because I think we can be, by being reasonable about this, we have to look at both sides, and all sides. So I'm going to start with Kyle Rittenhouse's parents, with these adults who accompanied Kyle to these protests. Fuck you. I don't say that lightly. Fuck you. This 17-year-old should not have had a rifle. He shouldn't have been carrying a rifle around in public, and he shouldn't have been at these protests. I don't think anybody under 18 should be at these protests that have sometimes turned violence, if there's any capacity for violence. This was not a daytime organized protest. This was a nighttime past curfew protest. Kyle Rittenhouse should not have been there. He should not have been allowed to carry a rifle. Whoever let him carry the rifle, gave him the rifle, accompanied him, transported him, was with him, and didn't stop him, fuck you. You're a terrible person, and you've done this teenage boy a disservice and probably ruined his life forever. There's no question about that. I know you're a single mother. You did a terrible job. And the only thing I can say is I wish you were going to actually financially pay for it. You're going to pay for it stressing about your son going to prison for the rest of his life. But I would like you to also have to pay for the lawyers. But unfortunately, I'm quite sure that some 2A nuts who've already are making a hero of your son are going to pay for that. In fact, let's Google it. Kyle Rittenhouse GoFundMe. Help us free Kyle. Oh, campaign not found. They took it down. Oh, they deleted it. Look at that. Okay, so there was already an attempt at a GoFundMe. I was right about that. Fortunately or unfortunately, depending on who you are, that GoFundMe was removed. I'm sure because it was related to drugs. I don't know, or guns. I mean, I'm sure it's because it was related to guns, or something like that. But it's removed. Trust me, they'll go on another site, and I'm sure hundreds of thousands of dollars will be raised for this kid's legal defense, which we'll get to. So, having said that, fuck you to every adult who had anything to do with it. let's get to the nitty gritty, which is the legal aspect of this. So, first, why is a 17-year-old carrying around a gun? Certainly, that is illegal, even in Wisconsin, right? Wrong. The Wisconsin statutes say you can't carry a dangerous weapon. However, due to hunting, it has an exception for rifles and shotguns. Kyle was carrying a rifle, didn't appear to be short-barreled. That exception applies to everyone over 16 or under 16 who is following the laws about hunting, and everyone who isn't violating hunting laws. Kyle wasn't hunting. So the law that would prevent him from carrying a rifle or a shotgun seems to make an exception. So as my research so far, Kyle Rittenhouse was legally carrying this weapon. Now here's the important part. I think I'm backed up because these Second Amendment advocates, believe it or not, A, usually include a lawyer, and B, are very well versed on the law. And so I don't think they would have transported this 17-year-old and had him openly carrying around police officers unless indeed it was legal. The police officers were shown giving these guys water early on. Some people say, oh, they're in cahoots with the cops. No, I think the cops generally like people who protect property from rioters, because that's what we're talking about here, which brings us to the first video. Okay, so this is the best angle of the starting of the shooting, and this is a auto service place. There's rumors that it was owned by Kyle's grandfathers. I can't confirm those rumors, so I'm not going to spread them. I don't know if they're true or not. Sorry about the vertical video. I don't film in vertical, not my fault. But this is going to show you the initial things would happen, and I think it's important to watch this. Here Kyle is running with his gun. He's running away from people who are chasing him. This is the protesters. In fact, one of the protesters who was originally shot was linked to them confronting these guys about having guns on this private property. Now, so let's talk about what these two people are doing. Kyle, assuming he's carrying legally, like I already explained, is supposedly protecting commercial property from the people. Again, if you're an adult, it was terrible that you put the 17-year-old in that position. But having said that, these other guys are protesters. They have no reason to chase this young man. They have no reason to be angry at this young man. He is not the police. He did not do anything directly wrong. And he's on private property, protecting private property that is already boarded up, as you can see, because there were rioters who were destroying private property. So these guys decided to chase him. Now I'm going to address the protesters. You're dumb. You are dog dumb. There's no, I don't know what to tell you. You decided to chase after a man, you don't know his age, a man, a boy, doesn't matter. You decided to chase after someone with a gun. Now watch this. So he's running, and they throw something at him there. You can kind of see. And you hear the person saying he's got a gun. That thing they're throwing appears to be a Molotov cocktail. That's a deadly weapon. If it's not, you're throwing something at someone with a gun, and more importantly, you keep chasing him. So you're chasing and throwing stuff at someone with a gun. You corner him, and then he shoots you. I'm sorry. I'm not saying anybody deserves to die. Don't get me wrong. I understand life is valuable. I just don't know what to tell people who chase after and corner someone with a gun. These guys right here that we just watched are the dumbest of human beings. I don't know if they're mean. I don't know if they're vile. I don't know what they're, if they have a criminal record. I don't care. They're dumb. Right here, there's no better evidence than that you're dumb than you decided to go after someone who is carrying a weapon. And again, for what? What did he do? This was the first shooting. This is the first person who got shot. And he's running. So whatever happened, you could have let him go. But you chased him down and then got shot in the face. You're dumb. I'm sorry, you're dumb. So at this point, Kyle has shot somebody in the face. Now everyone starts screaming for police, but police are addressing a riot. There's just not enough police officers, and they can't be everywhere at once, and people are screaming everywhere and doing crazy stuff everywhere. So then Kyle runs more after he shoots this person. Now again, I'm sure none of these bystanders know the situation, know the reasoning behind the shooting, know that Kyle was chased down by people who threw stuff at him. So they don't know if he was defending himself or not. I don't think they care. He's the bad guy, right? They're the protesters. He's the Blue Lives Matters guy. They're against each other. So here we catch up. He's running. He's running towards police, by the way. I think this kid was scared, finally realized that he was in over his head. I don't know where the other adults that were with him are. Again, fuck you. But here we go. He runs. Now this is the interesting part. Everyone's chasing him, yelling at him. He's not killing anybody else. I see a lot of people say he came down here to kill. He came down here to murder. He's not shooting any of these people. They say they're going to beat him up. So then Kyle's running from these people who say, we're going to beat him up. And he trips. And he trips and he falls on the pavement. Now, I'll say there's another video out there I'm not going to pull up now that shows someone hit him. Someone actually came up and hit him in the back of the head before he tripped. And he didn't shoot that person. So again, I don't buy. I get what you're saying. He came down here to kill. He was wearing gloves. I don't buy it because he didn't kill the guy who hit him in the back of the head and kept running. That video's out there. Go find it. But he didn't kill any of these people here. First guy over here in the white pants, first smart guy, does what? Jumps up and tries to kick him in the head or kick his gun out. I don't know. But he decides to approach a guy with a gun who's on the ground, feeling cornered, and he decided to kick him. Now, he didn't witness what happened before, or if he did, he should know that it was a self-defense thing. There was a self-defense claim. I'm not blaming this poor protester. I'm sure he was just trying to be a hero. I really believe that. He was trying to be a hero. Unfortunately, sometimes people who are trying to be heroes end up not being heroes because they weren't aware of the situation. No matter all the good intentions, right? The road to hell is paved with good intentions. So here he gets shot. He falls down. Another guy comes. This is a guy hitting him over the head with a skateboard. That's a deadly weapon. I'm just telling you right now, many people have been charged with assault deadly weapon for using a skateboard. I'll show you many videos of people being knocked unconscious with a skateboard. Again, this kid has a gun. I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying once he has the gun, it's dumb to approach him. And more importantly, if he gets knocked out, then he could get killed. He's being attacked here by grown men. You're dumb if you do that. So he gets hit with a skateboard, and then he gets shot. And then there's this guy right here with the shorts. He's got a gun. Can't see it too well in these videos. It's very clear. There's clear stills of it later. I'll show you those. But he gets shot right in the arm. But again, Kyle's still laying on the ground, still defending himself from people who are directly attacking him. And him shooting some people didn't stop the other people from coming after him. Now, in fact, it probably fueled them on. They probably thought they were trying to help. I get that. But at the same time, everybody's in an impossible situation here. Unless you had left Kyle alone, and then if Kyle kills somebody, he goes to jail. But unfortunately, this is a crazy situation. So then he stands up, and he doesn't shoot anybody else. He starts walking. Now, I think it's important at this point to talk about whether or not it mattered that Kyle was illegally carrying a firearm or not. Even if he was illegally carrying a firearm, The question is, does he still get the self-defense instruction in his upcoming murder trial? The Wisconsin statute says that you have a right to use bodily harm to prevent imminent death or great bodily harm to yourself or any others. Now, it goes on to state that a person who engages in unlawful conduct of a type likely to provoke others to attack him or her, and thereby does provoke an attack, is not entitled to claim the privilege of self-defense against such attack, except when the attack which ensues is of a type causing the person engaging in the unlawful conduct to reasonably believe that he or she is in imminent danger of death or great bodily harm. So now we're back to, even if he was doing something illegal and he was afraid of death or imminent bodily harm, then he is still can claim self-defense. Now, here's the most important part in regards to this case. A person who provokes an attack. So even if you think, Kyle, just by carrying a gun under 17, if you think that's something that will likely trigger people to attack you, which I don't think is reasonable, but even if you do, and even if for the attacks, like the first guy who kicked him in the head, is that something that puts him in fear of severe bodily injury or death? I don't know. A jury might not find it, but it says the privilege lost by provocation may be regained if the actor in good faith withdraws from the fight and gives adequate notice thereof to his or her assailant. So even if him carrying a gun was provocation for them to attack him, which I don't think it was, but even if you find that, when he runs away, when he retreats, and the people attacking him see him retreat, then he regains the ability to claim self-defense. So in my estimation, he will get the self-defense claim. And I don't know a lot of juries in any states who will watch the tapes of a guy with a handgun jumping on him, attacking him, hitting him in the head with a skateboard. When they watch these videos, I don't think there's a jury in the world that will convict him. Whether you agree with it or not, that's my legal opinion. But if I haven't ticked everybody off already, here it goes. Here's the final straw that are going to get the other side, because maybe you're still with me. If you're super, gun control, yay, Kyle, glad he killed those scumbags. Well, I'm probably going to lose you on this one. So here we are. Kyle has shot several people. They're lying on the ground, 2 of them dead. Here come the police. Kyle is running towards the police. Hands up. He keeps touching his gun. Why would you do that? Because you're not afraid. Now, I'm going to give the police some credit here, because I understand that they can't hear what's going on. They don't know what's going on. There's a million people holding their hands up saying stuff. This guy's just walking. There's guys waving, over here. Look all around. There's guys waving, and they don't have any reason to believe that this kid is the shooter. They just can't know that because they're not hearing people individually. There's sirens going. They're just trying to go around. And they say, injured people straight ahead, and they go to get the injured people. Kyle just goes away. Kyle just leaves eventually. But here's what I will say. He tries to get in the cop car. Cop, I'm sure, tells him to get the F off. Here's what I have to say about that. I've watched a lot of these videos. Thousands of police videos. Thousands. Too many to count. Watch them carefully. Consider them, including ones in cases that I've represented. The one conclusion that I have to reach is that doesn't happen if Kyle is black. I know, race baiter, whatever. I don't think the police just pass by black dude with a rifle right after a shooting is reported. Call me cynical. I just don't believe it. I can show you videos of the police gunning down white people who had their backs turned, who who are a questionable threat. I've seen bad shoots on white people, many of those videos. What I have yet to see is many videos, let's say 10. I can't even point out 10 videos of police going round and round with a black person with a knife. I've seen probably 30 or 40, maybe more, of police going round and round with a white guy with a knife. I really have. They're like doing anything but shoot. I've also seen videos where they shoot right away. But what the conspicuously missing videos, in the wealth of videos available on the internet, is videos of police going round and round, giving the benefit of the doubt to a black person. I just don't see it. If you see it, share it in the comments. But I just don't see it, and that's what's sad. And I don't know why. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it is racism. I don't know. It may be a statistical thing for just how many of those happen and how many get videoed and how many are how many people, white people. I don't know. I don't know what it is. The only conclusion I can reach based on what I have is that innate or even overt racism. I don't know. I'm waiting for those. But I do know that I truly believe that if Kyle was black, he doesn't just walk past the squads of police cars. He doesn't get back home. He's investigated immediately, and therefore he would have, in my opinion, been arrested immediately. Well, that concludes that. In summary, a bunch of idiots went out at night and they ran into each other and acted like idiots. One of them was 17. That doesn't give you a full pass. But a lot of 17-year-olds do stupid stuff. Any adults involved in this should be ashamed of themselves. Kyle should be ashamed of himself. And they're going to pay the price. Kyle's going to have to hire lawyers. He's going to have to risk being sent to prison for a long time. The family members of the two dead guys aren't going to see them again. One guy's going to lose an arm. I mean, it's just bad for everybody. But it's what happens when a bunch of idiots run into each other with weapons. Thanks for listening, guys. If you have any questions, leave them there. I hope you have a good day. I hope you found what I said reasonable. And if not, let me know. Share, like, notify, do whatever you can to spread the word. Appreciate y'all listening to me. Have a good day.